A new government report shows the agency in charge of placing unaccompanied migrant children with U.S. sponsors failed to properly vet many of them in 2021. Border Report's Sandra Sanchez has been digging through this report for us, and she's joining us now to offer us a little insight. So, Sandra, thank you so much for joining us today. If we can just have you break down what the report found about those screenings, I think that's a great place to start.
Thanks for having me, Britt. The Office of Inspector General for the Department of Homeland Security found that the agency in charge of the children, it's called the Office for Refugee Resettlement, failed to initiate proper vetting and screening of sponsors for these children. Keep in mind, this was a time when the number of unaccompanied children went from 20,000 in fiscal year 2019 to 120,000 in fiscal year 2021 under the Biden administration, and a number of safeguards that are in place because there aren't enough beds in detention facilities by the federal government in order to let these children be sponsored out to people fell through the cracks. A number of the safeguard measures that ensure that people who aren't related to the children are indeed upstanding just weren't put through.
You know, this report also shows times when the Department of Health and Human Services failed to show basic safety checks. What are some of those checks?
Right. So FBI fingerprinting, ensuring that they've not had a criminal background, checking on the children after they have been put in these sponsorship homes, making sure that they're called well-being checks, making sure that that the documentation that the person is who they said they are. A lot of times, it said here 20% of the identifications were not legible, like the pictures were grainy, didn't have the watermarks that a state issued license plate should have, and they weren't necessarily sure these people were really who they said they were.
And what is the report recommending the agency do now?
You know, primarily they're saying a lot more discretionary ability to check on these homes. There's a 2008 law that requires that children who have been subjected to human trafficking or sexual or physical abuse, they're a vulnerable population, such as a disabled child, get mandatory well-being checks in these homes. But that doesn't apply to other unaccompanied migrant children. And they're basically saying caseworkers should have the ability to say, no, we really want to go and drill in and check this home. And they also want to make sure that all of the documents are digitized within the agency so that everyone can see that everyone has followed all the rules in applying to have these children in their home.
Well, Sandra Sanchez, thank you so much. We always appreciate your reporting.
Thank you.